This is an RNZ podcast.
Bonjour, mes amis. Je m'appelle Ben Strang. I'm the host of RNZ's Paris Essentials podcast. Another very good day for New Zealand, and it came as a little bit of a surprise. Finn Butcher wins the kayak cross gold medal, the first ever kayak cross gold medal at the Olympic Games. What an awesome sport this is. 4 people racing down the white water, having to do a flip or a roll at one point so they dip under the water. I mean, it looks insane and it's so physical. I think Dana Johansson, our reporter there, described it as being a bit like a demolition derby, but in the water. Nathan Rarere called it BMX while trying not to drown. What an amazing event, and what a winner Finn Butcher is. Alexandra's finest. Amazing for him to come through for the victory. And then shortly afterwards, we had the cyclists, the team sprint women, Rebecca Petch, Sian Fulton and Elise Andrews taking silver on the velodrome. This after they set a world record in qualifying for the final, but the Great British team, they set 3 different world records on the night, a very fast night on the track, and they took home the gold. But a very good performance from the New Zealand women's team sprint as well. But let's start today's episode by talking Finn Butcher and that awesome gold medal win. On first up, Nathan Rarere presenting from Paris. They were able to dial up Nana Val Butcher after the win. She was watching with friends back home in Alex, I think it was. And so here's this awesome interview with the Nana of Finn Butcher, Val Butcher.
The Butcher's Nana, Val, is the postmistress of Ophir, the gold town, which now has a gold medal grandson. Val, you've got a gold medal grandson. How does that feel?
I know. It feels wonderful. It does. Yeah. I still can't believe it. No, I'm sort of it. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Did you wake up the neighbours cheering for him?
No, I've got all the, we're down in the hall, yeah, and we've all been cheering for him, yes, and Luca, yep, we're thrilled for both.
Wonderful. You know, I saw that Englishman, Joseph Clark, he'd been the king of this the whole way through. So what was it like for you when you saw the start and you realised that Finn had beaten him into the water?
Yeah, I couldn't. Well, it was the whole race. I just can't believe it still. No, it was wonderful. Yeah, they all want to win, and Finn, that's his first Olympics, and yeah, I'm just thrilled for him. Yeah, I am.
I'll bet you are. I'll bet you know this is someone you've known since he was born. Was he always an energetic child?
Oh, always. Yep, a very smart kid. Yep, he was, and a nice kid with it. Yep. So yeah, I'm just so pleased for him, and he just looks so happy.
Tell me, oh, he does, doesn't he? Which is great, and I can hear that you're happy. Tell me, how many people did you watch it with? Who was there with you?
Well, a lot of the Ophirians, people from over. Yeah, we were waving flags and yeah. And, yeah, he got a big cheer from us all. Yeah. It's been really wonderful. Yeah.
When he when he was coming up to crossing the finish line, did you have your arms raised in the air, or can you remember what it was like?
Oh, yeah. Oh, we got some flags from the $2 shop and waved them around. No, it was really exciting. Yes. Yeah. I think they're doing the presentation now, I think. Yeah, they're doing the medal stuff.
Oh, yes.
Now.
I see that. I see they're just doing the women's ones there. So I'll just ask you a couple of questions quickly. How are you going to celebrate? How are you going to celebrate?
I don't know. I've probably got a bottle of wine in the fridge, but it's breakfast time virtually, so I'm not sure that'll go down well. But I don't know. I don't know yet. I haven't thought about that.
Well, I don't know who the mayor is around Ophir, but he's got to have a parade, doesn't he?
Yes. Oh, look, he's famous. No, I just can't believe it. I'm still, excited.
Look, Val, you soak it up. I mean, your grandson's a hero to the entire nation today. We've all just discovered that we like this new sport called canoe cross, and he's the champion of the world. So good for you, Val. Enjoy the day.
Okay, thank you very much for ringing me. I'm just a bit speechless at the moment.
And that was Val Butcher talking to Nathan Rara there. He soon got Finn Butcher up on the line about 10 minutes later. And, of course, he had to start by mentioning old Nana Butcher.
Finn, congratulations. We've just been talking with your Nana. She is so, so proud of you.
Epic. That's so good.
Yeah, it was great. We spoke to Nana Val. She said she was watching with all her friends and she was just over the moon. So I know she'll want to hear from you. You'll have so many people to catch up with. But, mate, tell me about this. At the start line there, you hit the water first. Did you do something different with the way you were sitting, or was it just a dream start?
Oh, I wouldn't want to give any trade secrets away. No, it's yeah, like we've been working a bit on the technique. And just a lot of intent to get down fast and rip into it. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess.
Well, you did. I mean, you got there. So, look, let's talk us through this there. So, you make your great start. You're going really, really well. You know, you're powering through. You looked really strong. I imagine that adrenaline when you realise that you're ahead and being chased must feel like nothing else on earth.
Yeah. Especially getting chased by Clarkey, the British guy, because he's a serious powerhouse. So yeah, I could feel him breathing down my neck. But yeah, I managed to kind of keep a bit of a gap and then have that last upstream to myself. And after that, it was pretty unreal.
Oh, look, I mean, all of us, it's New Zealand's new favourite sport now. We had to learn about it overnight, but we've caught up with you and we've got there. That first, the upstream, when you turn to go up there, you're clear there after the first upstream. Once you get through that, what was the part that you thought, if I get through this part of the course and I'm still in front, I'm going to win this? Yeah. So... Oh, we're just about to go through security. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much like the goal
just
was to get through the first up by myself, and then I should have a bit of clean air after that. So, yeah, if you can get your elbow under the pole and hook the pole and get turned by yourself, then that's basically the.
That's good. Yeah, I noticed your technique. I saw it in the run beforehand as well. I like that one. Well, just as you're going through security, how's your French actually? Because you're going to have to go through a few of these, eh?
Oh, it's not very good. I've been in France since kind of the middle of April, and I run a pretty poor operation, unfortunately. But yeah, I can order baguettes and things.
Oh, that's pretty good. Are you wearing the medal as you speak to me right now, or what are you doing?
I am actually. Yeah.
Oh,
I am.
Perfect.
Haven't taken it off. Yeah. It's. I took it off, put it around Mum and Dad's neck, but apart from that, it's probably not going to come off me the rest of the night, I don't reckon.
Good. I don't think it should. I think it's an amazing thing you've worked really hard for, and you've got. That's. I mean, this entire race as it went through. When you first arrived in Paris, was this what you envisaged? Was this the one that you're like, man, this is going to happen for me? Could you feel it?
A little bit. I mean, we didn't really target this any more than we did the slalom. But, like I've performed well in both categories before, and I backed myself in both of them. So after a bit of disappointment in the slalom, I think, just took the time to kind of sit on that and then refocus and and just rip into the cross. And I think, we just had good plans and good support around me. And I think, we executed well, so I'm pretty bloody pleased with it.
I'll bet you are. So I know that you get your medal, you get the poster that comes with it. I think in that little box. I think I managed to touch one of them. They felt quite solid. They're pretty heavy medals, aren't they?
Yeah, it is very heavy. Yeah, it's definitely solid, but I think it'll be right fitting it in the excess baggage on the way home.
What a great thing to have to do as well. What do you, I mean? Look,
Yeah.
I know. Look, I don't know if you've got any plans in your head, but what are you planning to do the next few days? Anything you're looking forward to seeing or showing up with your medal at?
I think tonight we'll head back to the village, do something with the rest of the team, and then head to New Zealand House and catch up again with my friends and family that have been here supporting me. So. Yeah, I'm not looking too far past that, but me and my girlfriend Courtney will try to get to some events, I think, and she's already been to the beach volleyball without me, so yeah, try to get to some cool things. And man, it's pretty epic. Like, been enjoying the whole games, and it's pretty unreal to have it in Paris, and like the road cycling finished yesterday right under the Eiffel Tower, so. Yeah, pretty sick.
And that was Finn Butcher, the gold medal winning kayak cross athlete at the Paris Olympics. What an awesome performance from him. So really tremendous to see people come through and surprise us, I guess. I mean, we knew that our kayakers were pretty good in the format, but we didn't expect Finn Butcher to come through with a gold. So a really nice surprise this Tuesday morning here in New Zealand. Another nice surprise is the form of the track cyclists on day one at the velodrome. The women's team sprint of Rebecca Petch, Sian Fulton and Elise Andrews taking the silver medal. They briefly held a world record in the format. It was then snatched off them by Great Britain. So how it went was New Zealand set an Olympic record in the first round. Great Britain then set a world record to have the fastest time. So they were first and second. And that sends you into the first round of sort of qualifying where you're actually qualifying for the finals, the top 8 teams. Germany set a world record. Then New Zealand set the world record. And then Great Britain set the world record. So 2 of the 3 world records made the final, New Zealand and Great Britain. And then Great Britain went one better in the final. I mean, you can't do much more than make a final setting a world record, and if another team is unfortunately setting a better world record, what do you do? But a very good performance, and Coach John Andrews was a very proud coach and a very proud dad because his daughter is, of course, in the team, Elise Andrews. He talked to Barry Guy.
I knew it'd be fast tonight, and I knew the girls were capable of doing something really special. I just didn't know how good it would be. They were very close to breaking the old world record last week in training, about 10 days ago in Gretchen. And the track there isn't particularly good. The environment's fast, but the track's not very fast. So here it was hot. The environmental conditions were quite good, but the track's beautiful. Like, it's an amazing track. So we knew it was going to be potentially very quick, but I expected a little bit more from the Germans, and yeah, we delivered more than I probably hoped.
Of course, in a lot of events you always come up against the Brits and you know what to expect from them, but it also looked like the New Zealanders were having a good time.
Yeah, they did. Like, we relaxed and just went about doing our business and doing the same stuff in racing that we do in training. And that's a really important part of how we operate and how we perform. Not getting too carried away with outcomes. It's really about just the process of executing a really good ride. And the girls just completely nailed that tonight. They did an awesome job and rode, really fast because of it. To be second fastest qualifier in the first round, the qualifying round, that was amazing. And then to ride the final against the Brits, yeah, fantastic.
So how's this set up? Because Elise, of course, has got the Kieran coming up, and they've got the sprint and everything. It must set them up well.
Yeah, it does. It's in some ways maybe it takes some pressure off because, you know, they've done a lot of work. They've been through some hard times, and on day one they go home tonight with a medal. So that's a really nice feeling. But they're all determined girls, and Sam Dakin as well has got good form. You know, he's a determined guy, so they'll approach their individual events with the same sort of energy that they did tonight and be really chasing it hard.
And that was John Andrews talking to Barry Guy, very, very proud coach and dad of this team. And by the sounds of things, they've been in very, very fine form in the build-up to the Olympic Games. So hopefully we see some more impressive times as the week goes on. Now, let's look back to that triathlon we had, the team triathlon yesterday. Didn't go to plan for New Zealand, ended up well down the order. But what's transpired since is that Hayden Wilde, New Zealand's silver medal winner in the men's triathlon, he's been sick in the build-up after getting E. coli, after getting sick from the E. coli in the Sen and in that race. So a lot of reporters have gone and talked to the New Zealand chef de mission, Nigel Avery.
When were you made aware that maybe some of our triathletes had been sick after that race?
Or quite late in the piece, really. So I think they kept it, in-house because I think that's what they want to do. They don't want to give their opponents any room for manoeuvre on that regard. So it was pretty late.
Has enough been done, do you think, to ensure the safety of athletes and especially our Kiwi athletes?
Well, I think World Triathlon, the Olympic Games Committee, organising committee, they kept it pretty tight, right? They want to make sure that the health and safety of athletes is put at the forefront. Internally, we had some really good medical protocols, probiotics and all sorts of things just to make sure that as much as we could. But ultimately, it's World Triathlon's call and, they kind of had to make it right, otherwise the event doesn't go ahead.
Will the NZOC or will athletes be making any complaints?
Not that I'm aware of.
Were you surprised that it went ahead today, given that the swim league for the last couple of days had been called off?
Yeah, so I guess they had another meeting, I think it was 5 p.m. last night, with lots of deliberations and all that. They did a lot of water testing, so I think once again I'm sure they would have taken into account the athletes' health and safety and to make that decision.
And that was Nigel Avery talking to New Zealand reporters, including RNZ's Felicity Reid at the end there. Well, I mean, this was the worry from the triathlon, wasn't it? That athletes were going to get sick, the men's triathlon was delayed by 24 hours because of the E. coli levels. Clearly, it wasn't in great shape. And, if that's the price you pay for a silver medal, sure, but if these other athletes are getting sick as well, I mean, it does call into question whether it was a good idea running it there, doesn't it? A bit yucky after such a good silver medal there. Let's also look at the speed climbing which happened overnight, the women's speed climbing. Sarah Tetzlaff, New Zealander, she set a personal best, an Oceania record in the speed climbing, but it wasn't enough for her to progress to the finals. Still, she's pretty pleased with her performance. She caught up with Nathan Rarere.
I still don't know, to be honest. You just sort of keep trundling along and these things happen and it's just a little thing along your journey. But yeah, no, I feel incredibly proud today. That was a pretty cool effort. And there are a few things going on, like a little delay and just other stuff. But yeah, really, really proud. Still doesn't feel like I'm an Olympian, but I did have a little moment behind the wall where I was just looking at the rings up on the wall after I finished, and it was like, wow, I climbed on a wall that had the Olympic rings on it. Yeah. So, and the wall is the same everywhere, so in a way it doesn't feel anything different. But yeah, it was incredibly special to be climbing in front of that crowd today.
That was incredible. So is a crowd normally like this? My first event of this I've been to.
They're not normally that vocal.
Right.
Like, that was super loud and super electric and really, really cool. An amazing atmosphere, and everyone was just cheering super hard for everyone, no matter. I mean, the French definitely got the biggest cheering, I think, but we still got massive cheers, and that was super cool.
Yeah. And so I looked at that and I thought, I don't think I can run 15 metres as fast as you can climb it. It's a really high wall. How do you folks feel about you doing that? I'd freak out if my daughters were up there.
I think they're fine with it. It's actually probably one of the safer elements of climbing. We're on auto belays, so as soon as you jump off, the belay catches you and lowers you at a regular pace to the ground. and it's very repetitive, so I think they're used to it. Both
Yeah.
of my parents have been climbers in the past, so yeah, I think they're pretty happy with what I'm doing.
So let's talk about that delay. It was a problem with the contact pad on the left side, and then they had to send a climber up, which the crowd cheered to. And that. Does that often happen?
No, that was incredibly rare actually. It's normally if there's going to be a technical issue, which is super rare, it'll be like the foot pad on the ground doesn't work properly or is very, very sensitive, so it might set off a false start when someone's standing on it. But no, I've never seen that before, so I was a little bit bummed for the organisers because up until now everything's been run incredibly well. Everything's worked super good. We had a dress run sort of 2 days ago on the Olympic wall, and that was ran perfectly. So yeah, a little gutted for them because it's obviously not what you want to happen at the Olympics when you're live on TV. But yeah, other than that, like it's been an amazing competition for us.
Feels a bit rough to ask it because you've just gone the fastest you've ever gone. Now that you've done that, are you like, yeah, I've got more speed in me?
I already knew that. I actually ran a quicker time on the training wall beforehand. So all of those runs I did today just had little mistakes in them. So you always want a little bit more. But it's also just incredibly nervy to be competing at the Olympics in front of so many people, and competing in front of an unknown amount of people online too. So I think they were really solid runs given all the circumstances, but yeah, of course I want to go faster.
And Sarah, we've come outside to talk to you. There was like one of the volunteer-looking people who looks like your shadow. Like, who is that? Is that the drugs tester? Who is that?
Yeah, she wants to watch me pee in a cup later.
Oh,
so,
fantastic.
Yeah, just fab.
And this is making sure that you don't just dart off into the crowd and get replaced by a twin.
Exactly, or get a sachet of warm pee from someone else. Yeah, so they have to watch me from now.
Yeah, well, I didn't bring any. I just got my wallet and that sort of stuff.
That wasn't good planning.
No, it wasn't good planning, was it? No, hey, Sarah, thank you very much. It was a pleasure watching you up there, and congratulations today.
Thank you so much.
Cheers, thanks.
And that was Sarah Tetzlaff talking to Nathan Rarere about the speed climbing. And I can tell you, of all the Olympic events, I think it might be speed climbing that's Nathan's favourite that he's seen. He went and checked out the wall, 15 metres straight up in, 7 seconds. Incredible that they can do it so quickly. I think maybe, in another life, Nathan takes up the speed climbing. Who knows? Let's have a look ahead at what's coming today in Paris. We have the canoe sprint starting, which is very exciting. The men's K4 500 metres, Max Brown, Grant Clancy, Curtis Imrie and Hamish Legarth. They're starting their heats at 7:30 p.m. If they make it to the quarters, that's at 11:10 p.m. The women's K4 with Olivia Brett, Lisa Carrington, Alicia Hoskin and Tara Vaughan is at 8 p.m. The men's C2 500 metres, Max Brown and Grant Clancy, heats from 8:30 p.m. and a potential quarterfinal at 11:50. The men's K2 500, Curtis Imrie and Hamish Legarth, heats at 9:30 p.m. Potential quarterfinal at 12:30 a.m. And the women's K2 500 metres, this is very exciting. Lisa Carrington and Alicia Hoskin and Amy Fisher and Lucy Matahaere both competing, both two pairs there in the heats from 10:10 p.m. The quarterfinals for that, should they make it, I think are 2 hours later, just after midnight. The athletics, the women's 1500 metre heats, Maya Ramsden, she's very good collegiate athlete over in the United States for Harvard, I think it is, so an Ivy League athlete, 8:05 p.m. In the sailing, the NACRA 17, Micah Wilkinson and Erica Dawson, 10 p.m. The men's kite surfing with Lucas Walton Kime at 10:03 p.m. And the women's kite surfing, Justina Kitchen at 10:13 p.m. The men's sport climbing, Julian David, his qualification seeding starts at 11 p.m. and the elimination rounds from 11:40. Junior world champ, Julian David, so it'll be interesting to see how he steps up to the big elite men's grade. After midnight, we have the sailing. The women's dinghy medal race is at 12:43 p.m. Greta Pilkington. The men's dinghy medal race, Thomas Saunders at 1:43 a.m. And then the track cycling. Yes, the track cycling. The women's team pursuit qualifying, Bryony Borther, Emily Sherman, Nicole Shields and Ali Wollaston. That is from 3:30 a.m. I think there's also the men's team sprint will be on overnight. So, we're hearing good things from how they were preparing in the velodrome. Apparently they were looking very, very quick, and it's now that we start to see it. So hopefully our track cyclists can continue the way that they have started things at the velodrome. That is us for today. We will be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. with another episode of Paris Essentials. Of course, we're dropping them every day, tous les jours, during the Paris Olympic Games. We're almost there, folks. We've only got a few days remaining, and hopefully it'll be a medal heavy final few days for the Olympic Games. Make sure you follow and listen to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts from. Until tomorrow, à demain, au revoir.